Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to make Barbari bread. This is the secret recipe for the Barbari. Step 1, you need a concrete paver. So this is a concrete paver that you can find in the gardening section of Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's. You need this because we put the bread on top of this in the oven. You cannot use a metal tray or a foil. Do not use these because you are not going to get the same result. This is very important to have a concrete paver or a stone paver. Once you bought this, wash it and then put it in the middle of the oven. Step 2, now turn on your oven and put it on 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 3, in this step we cover the table with a plastic table cover or aluminum foil. Step 4, in this step you need a big bowl. The bowl should be made of plastic or glass but not metal, because if it's metal it's gonna get cold and we need to keep the bowl warm. So use a plastic or glass bowl. Add 2 tablespoons of instant yeast. This is the yeast that I'm using. For every 2 cups of flour you need 1 tablespoon of instant yeast, but I'm gonna add a little bit more because you are gonna add a little bit more of flour once you start to make the bread. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now we add 1 cup of warm water. You don't need to use boiled water, simply use hot water, just slightly warmer than room temperature. Then gently mix these. Now cover the bowl with plastic wrap. We need to keep this warm, so wrap a towel around it. And wait for 10 to 15 minutes. Now I'm back after 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see. You see the foam has been formed here. If you don't see this foam, that means your yeast has been expired and you need to get a new one. So we are good. Now it's time to add flour. For flour, you must use all-purpose flour. You see here, all-purpose. If it's self-rising flour, it's not gonna work. It has to be all-purpose flour. I'm gonna use 4 cups of flour here. As you remember, for every 2 cups of flour, I use 1 teaspoon of instant yeast. Now it's time to add water. Again, you need to add warm water. Add 2 tablespoons of salt. Be careful with the amount of water. Don't add too much, otherwise it's gonna be wet and you need to add more flour. The point here is that the dough should be sticky, but if you added too much water, you can add a little bit of flour. Don't add all of the water at once. I knew how much exactly I should use, that's why I added all at once. But for you, slowly add water and then make your dough. Now it's time to use your hand. Make sure you close your fingers like this so the flour is not gonna go through your fingers. If it sticks to your hand, it's perfect. This is perfect. Now wait for 20 to 30 minutes. Put the plastic wrap back and put the towel also back to keep it warm. Step 6, while we are waiting for the dough to be done, we can make the topping. This is a special topping for the bread and it gives an authentic taste and a smell to the bread. We need baking soda. This is not healthy, so don't add too much, just 1/3 of a tablespoon. This is enough. Add 1 tablespoon of flour. We add half of the cup cold water and mix these. Now we put this on the stove and try to evaporate the water and make this a little bit denser. The heat should be medium and just try to evaporate the water a little bit. This is done. Now put this aside and we can use this later. Step 7, after 20 minutes, I'm checking this. Nice. We don't need the towel. Now we are gonna make the pieces. So use flour. So it's not gonna stick to your hands too much. Also sprinkle some flour here. Now it's time to make the pieces. Make a uniform piece of dough. Do not squeeze and play too much with the dough because the produced gas, which is trapped here, is gonna release and you are not gonna get that fluffy texture for the bread. As you see, now we add more flour. That's why we added more yeast in the beginning. Now let these sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Step 8. Do not use a rolling pin. Use your hand to spread these a little bit. These are not the final size. Once you're gonna put this into oven, we are gonna stretch them a little bit. Now we add the special topping that we made. And we make some lines on top of the bread. Now we add sesame seeds. Step 9, this is the final step. Now we are gonna put these into the oven. Make sure you have enough flowers on your hand so these are not gonna stick to your hand. And also, once you want to put this into the oven, stretch them a little bit so it's gonna get the final size. The total time for baking the bread is 10 minutes, but after 5 minutes you rotate the bread because the heat inside the oven is not equal, so you get a uniformly cooked bread. Congrats, you made it. Now you know how to make Barbari bread. Enjoy this bread, share the recipe with your friends. See these air pockets? The outside is crispy and the inside is fluffy. Barbari bread is perfect for breakfast with some cheese, tomato, cucumber, and walnut. You can cut Barbari bread into small pieces and keep them in a resealable bag and store it in freezer for up to 1 week. You can reheat it in a toaster or microwave. Enjoy. I hope this was useful. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends. Also, consider subscribing to see more. Have a great rest of the day. See you in the next video.